All right. What's going on, everybody? I know it's been a red hot minute since I've put anything up. I think the last thing that I did was that rant about all the protests and being unsafe to drive and all that kind of stuff. Well, I am still driving. As you can see, I fussed about it and complained about it, and even talking about I didn't know if it was even worth it to do this anymore, and here I am. I'm still driving. So just a update on things that's been going on. I'm still with the company that I was originally with, hauling containers. You know, I left. I went over to XPO drayage to try that out, and really just wasn't my cup of tea. Like I said in my last videos, it was fine. There was nothing inherently wrong with the company. I had to go in the port. That took a lot of time. The company that I'm with now and was with before, I didn't have to go into the port and didn't have to mess with all that. So I just like this better. But anyway, with that being said, they dropped our rates, so we're not making what we were making, and they also started charging us one way for drays. Now what that means is they have local drivers in Savannah that go into the port. They take the empty boxes in there, they'll pull the loaded boxes out, and us over the road drivers will just pick them up from the yard. When we bring back our empties, we'll bring back our empties and drop them on the yard. So no port. Well, the great thing about this company was they never charged us for that. Most companies, if you want that done, they'll do it for you, but they'll charge you about $45, 50, 60. So that's different for every company, but they'll charge you $45 for the driver to take it in, your empty box into the port, and they'll charge you another $45, $50 for the driver to pull out your load and take it to the yard for you. So you're looking at like $90 to $100 off of each load if you choose to do it that way. Some companies do that, give you that option. Some companies don't. Like XPO, if you were over the road and you were pressed for time, they'd have local drivers go in there for you and they'd charge you for it. But if you were just running day loads, they really kind of expected you to go in and get your own load yourself. So yeah, with all that said, the company that I'm with, they did all that at no charge. So if I took a load for the day, you know, everybody knows I like taking day loads so I can be home every day. I can leave my house with an empty box, go to Savannah, drop my empty box off, pick up a loaded box, take it anywhere in Georgia pretty much, and get it unloaded and then go home. But they dropped our rates, first of all, and second of all, they started charging us one way for drays. So essentially that's $45 off of each load automatically. So when they give me the price of the load that the load pays, like today's load paid $615 to come up here to Peachtree City, Georgia. Well, that's $45 immediately off that $615. Then on top of that, they dropped our mileage pay, because it is mileage pay. They just tell us the full overall price of the load instead of breaking it down into miles. They've already broke it down into miles. They'll say this load pays this. So they dropped our rates 5 cents a mile. And all All this after I decided to leave XPO because they didn't pay enough and go back over here to the company that I was with because they paid more. All that stuff tanked. It just my luck. So that happened. The second thing that happened, full disclosure for everybody on the channel that's watching, because I'm an owner operator. You know, I went to Lone Mountain, leased my truck. Things been going good, yada yada yada. I have sold my truck. So let me tell you about that. So in my last video, that rant video, I was talking about freight dropping off and being slow again, and how inconsistent everything was, and how I just was discouraged with the industry because I got into this, and when I got into it, it was like, you know, pedal to the metal, Monday through Friday, wanting you to run on Saturday. You had every opportunity to make plenty of money out here, and it just seemed like as soon as I went out and got my own truck, things just went south. And they came back up, but then as soon as they would come back up, they'd go south again. You get your hopes back up, it goes south again. You get your hopes up, things start to come back up, it goes south again. And you know, it got to the point where it got so bad that, you know, I was taking a bunch out of my settlements every week and putting it into my maintenance account, just like I was supposed to. Maybe not as much as I should have. My plan was to split everything down the middle and give half to the truck and half to me. Well, I ended up not quite doing that. I wasn't terrible about it, but it wasn't half. So I'm building a maintenance account. Things go to crap. I'm running 2 days a week, 3 days a week, and it's just up and down. It's all over the place. Well, it got so bad that I ended up, what I was doing was, and this is before I went to XPO even, I was taking money out of my maintenance fund to supplement my paycheck just to be able to pay my bills. So my maintenance account was shrinking because I was using that money just to be able to pay my bills. So there was still money going in there, but on the bad weeks, excuse me, on the bad weeks, I'd have to take money out. So it got to the point where I never missed a truck payment, never missed an insurance payment, never missed a tag payment, never missed anything, really. If I had all that trouble with the shaking on the truck and the tire problems and all, I was able to always get all that fixed, get it into the shop. You know, luckily, all I ever had was like $300 or $400 repairs, you know. But when I woke up in the morning, I always had this pit nausea feeling in the bottom of my stomach. What if my transmission blows up today? I don't have enough to fix it. If it goes, I'm out, you know. If I blow a turbo, if my turbo goes out, I can fix it, but then I have nothing, you know. And I have to start all over, building all that. And while I'm building it all up again, I'm gonna have to be worried about, is something gonna happen while I'm building that account back up? And that just, I hated that feeling. So I've lived with that feeling for a while, and then, you know, when all this stuff hit and the coronavirus and all that hit and things started to go back down again, I just got really, I mean, y'all saw that last video. I was just discouraged with it all, you know. So meanwhile, this whole time that I've had this truck, from the time that I bought the truck or leased the truck, the guy that I drove for before I started this, who actually, when I started driving for him, he owns like 5 trucks. I started driving a black Freightliner for him, and we split everything 50-50. So like when we got our settlement, we split it 50-50. And he's a good guy. So I think it was like maybe 4 months I did that for him, and the whole time I'm thinking, man, I could be getting this whole settlement, you know, and just putting you know, half of it back, but it's still my money, it's still my business money, you know, but I could grow something here, and that's why I went out and I leased my own truck. Well, the whole time that I've had this truck, he's been calling, hey, I'll buy that truck from you if you want to come drive for me again. You can stay in it and you can keep it. I'll just own it. We'll split everything like we did 50-50, and you don't have to worry about anything anymore. So, you know, I always like, no, you know, I got this. I'm gonna be good. If I do anything, I'm gonna go get another truck, and you know, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna go big. Well, you know, when all this, like I said, y'all saw that last video, when all this stuff hit, I got so discouraged and so fed up with trucking that I almost, honestly, just walked away from it. And if I could just walk into another job, even making what I make on my worst weeks here, doing this, then I would have. But I don't, and I can't. I don't know of anything like that, other than like a military-based job, and that 9-to-5 grind, that shift work grind, you know, plant job, I'd go crazy. So I sold him the truck. I just sold him the truck, y'all. And so I've been driving the same truck. I'm still in my truck. It's not mine anymore. Technically, but you know, the second that I did, the AC system went out in it. He had to drop like $1,500 on getting the AC system redone, and it's not just like something that I could have toughed out either, because the compressor actually, when it went bad, the clutch on it went bad and put metal all in the line, so whenever the clutch would try to kick on, it was smoking and trying to catch fire. So that was like an immediate thing that I had to see about. So yeah, so you know, I guess now I'm gonna try and keep this video kind of short. I don't want to drag it on and on and on. But my next video is going to be about 50-50 split with the owner operator. And you know, when I was originally going to work for this guy, leaving being a company driver and wanting to pull containers, I looked up some stuff on that and couldn't find anything, and it sucked. So now I wasn't doing YouTube at that time, so well, I had this channel, but I really wasn't focused on doing any of that, but so I don't think I made any videos about that, so I will now. But you know, it sucks going from making $2,000 a week being put into your bank account every Friday, and that's, you know, it really wasn't $2,000. It was more like 1,800, 1,700, after they took out the money that I had them take out every week from my maintenance account. You know, so you had that kind of money going into my bank account every week. And even on the bad weeks, it was like $1,000 on the most terrible weeks, you know. But you get comfortable living like that, and you know, you get bills and things like that that you got to pay, and you're trying to put money back. And so on the, you know, the bad weeks, like I said, I started taking money out of my maintenance account and to supplement the difference, just to maintain the lifestyle that I had started to live, which was a mistake. And if I could go back and redo it, I would. So, you know, you live and you learn. But now, you know, doing a 50-50 split, you know, 5 days a week, a solid week, I was bringing home about $1,000 a week. Well, after these mileage cuts, the dray charges, and all that crap, I can work 5 days a week now and still only make about $850 after doing the 50-50 split. So settlement this week was like $1,680 for 5 days worth of work. That's 5 loads. I know that because I do a load every day, just to get that straight. So 5 loads, and I couldn't break $1,000 after the split. So something's gonna have to give. I'm gonna have to either take this truck, because he gives me full control. You know, the guy that I sold the truck back to gives me full control. I can take the truck anywhere. I can do whatever I want to with it. He doesn't care as long as the truck's rolling. So I'm either gonna have to start pulling dry van, or just find something that's paying more than this, because it just ain't working. Either that, or I can stay doing this. And y'all, I've been all over YouTube trying to find ways to supplement my income. I need $100 extra a day to be comfortable. That's, you know, my goal, or what I say that I need to be comfortable. $100 extra a day. I could stay making $850 a week here if I had $100 extra a day. Another thing is the volatility of this whole thing. Yes, I don't have the headache of paying for anything on this truck anymore, and that is great, especially like when the AC happened. And I mean, I've had to have 2 new tires put on. I had a flat tire the other day on my rear axle. I had to get replaced. The tires on the front, my steer tires, they're still going bald over time. I don't know what's doing it. It's like the most I can get out of a steer tire is like 6 months. So that had to be replaced. I don't have to pay for any of that anymore, and that's great. But you know, when the AC acted up in this truck, and they had to do that, I was out for like 4 days. So that's 4 days worth of runs that I missed, and I don't get paid for that. He don't pay me no kind of, you know, sit at home pay, you know. And I totally forgot the cab computer went out in this thing. That's what I was down for 2 weeks with, not the air conditioning. Air conditioning I was down for 4 days. Just recently, 2 weeks ago, I just got this truck back 2 weeks ago, something like that. I can't remember. But the cab computer went out, and they tried replacing it. They had to have a guy from International come and reprogram it. It didn't work, so they had to get they had to try to find a used one. They found a used one, and they was able to get that one programmed. But in the meantime, they replaced the oil gauge sensor, which had started jacking up. It would just, when you turn the truck on, it would just go all the way around and point straight down, and the oil light would come on, but it still had oil pressure, just the gauge was shot out. They replaced the speed control sensor because my gauges were, it was saying, wiring fault or electrical fault is what it was saying. And my gauges would just spaz out. I got the 10-speed automatic in this. It wouldn't go into gear. It would stall out. Like when you went to stop, it would drop to like 6th gear and wouldn't go any lower, and it would stall out. So the truck was acting crazy. So 2 weeks to get all that done. Well, 2 weeks I'm sitting at home with 0 pay, nothing, you know. And man, that will make you want to go punch a clock. I'm telling you. As bad as punching a clock sucks, and as bad as all of us truck drivers that love trucking and love the freedom of it, being sitting at home with mouths to feed and bills to pay in the middle of a pandemic where finances are already shot out, and you're sitting at home, it'll make you want to go punch a clock somewhere, get some 401k, get some retirement plan, get some insurance, because I still don't have insurance. I have Crohn's disease and I don't have insurance. Not good. Not good at all. So anyway, I'll cover a lot more in my next video, talking about driving for an owner-operator, 50-50 split. It's your boy Diesel Driver here. Thanks again for watching. Peace out.